Hello students, let's learn to name carbon compounds by following the IUPAC nomenclature rules. So be ready with your chemistry notebooks to note down the rules and to practice naming of carbon compounds. Before starting the video, let's just understand that hydrocarbons are of two types, saturated and unsaturated. Saturated hydrocarbons contain single bond between carbon atom and they are called as alkanes. In unsaturated hydrocarbons, there can be a double bond between two carbon atoms or a triple bond between the carbon atoms. If the carbon compound, that is the hydrocarbon, consists of a double bond between any one of the pair of carbon atoms, they are called as alkenes, and a triple bond between the carbon atoms indicate that they belong to alkyne family. For our convenience, let us understand that the name of every hydrocarbon have two parts. The first part is dependent on the number of carbon atoms present in the hydrocarbon, and the second part of the name is dependent on the type of the hydrocarbon or the type of the functional group present in them. As of now, we have learnt that hydrocarbons are of three groups, that is alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. But these are not the only family or functional groups present in a hydrocarbon. Apart from these, we have alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, and there are many more types of hydrocarbons depending on the functional group. The name of every alkanes end in "ane", alkenes end in "ene", and alkynes end in "ine". In this video, let's learn how to name alkanes, that is saturated hydrocarbons, straight-chained alkanes and branched-chain alkanes. The first part of the hydrocarbon, that is the first part of the name of hydrocarbon, depends on the number of carbon atoms present in them. Now let's see. If the hydrocarbon consists of one carbon atom, then the name starts with the term meth, M-E-T-H, pronounced as meth. If there are two carbon atoms, then the root word is eth, E-T-H. For hydrocarbons with three carbon atoms, the name starts with the word prop, P-R-O-P. With four carbon atoms, the name starts with bute, B-U-T. An hydrocarbon that consists of five carbon atoms have the name starting as pent. For 6, the word is hex. 7, the word is hept. For 8, the word is oct. So let's remember that in order to understand the name of a hydrocarbon, first we will count the number of carbon atoms in the hydrocarbon to get the first part or the prefix in the name of the hydrocarbon. Then check the type of the bonding between the carbon atoms to get the type of the hydrocarbon. Listen children, we have to check the bonding between the carbon atoms to find the type of hydrocarbon. It is because carbon always form a single bond with hydrogen. These are the two basic rules of naming a hydrocarbon. Now let's move on to the questions. Let's see the first question. In the first question, we can understand that the structure consists of two carbon atoms with a single bond. If the hydrocarbon consists of two carbon atoms, then the first word or the prefix of the name will be eth, E-T-H. Since it contains only single bond in them, it means that the carbon compound is an alkane and hence the word ends with ane. So the name of this hydrocarbon is ethane. Now let's move on to the second question. In this structure, you can see that there are four carbon atoms. So the prefix word or the root word is bute, B-U-T. And all the bonds are single bond, that is all the carbon are bonded through single bonds. So it's again an alkane. Alkanes end with the word ane. Hence, the name of this compound is butane. Question number 3. Here you can see that there is a main chain as well as there is an alkyl group coming as a branch or a substitute towards the main chain. So first let's understand how to name this. While naming a branched hydrocarbon, we should first identify the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms in the hydrocarbon molecule, which is known as the parent chain. Here we have two chains. One of the chain consists of 3 carbon atoms, where the other chain consists of 4 carbon atoms. So we will select the longest chain, that means with the chain which contains 4 carbon atoms. If you draw the structure of the main chain, we can understand that there are 4 carbon atoms and all all the carbon atoms are bonded through single bond. So the parent name is butane. The branch names are derived from their base hydrocarbon molecule. We have learnt that alkyl groups are formed when one hydrogen atom is removed from an alkane. So if one hydrogen atom is removed from methane, it becomes a methyl group. So CH3 is a methyl group, and you can see that in the structure the branch is actually a methyl group, or a methyl group is being substituted as a branch. The name of the branch or substitute is written in front of the parent hydrocarbon. Now, we have to number the carbon atoms in the chain in such a way that the branched carbon gets the least value. So now let's number the carbon atoms of the longest chain from either sides. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 as well as 1, 2, 3, 4 from the other side. If you see, the carbon atom that consists the branch has the least number 2. There are two numbers 2 and 3. Out of the least value is 2. So we choose the number 2 and put this as a prefix for the branch name, that is for the alkyl name. So the name of this hydrocarbon is 2-methyl-butane. In question number 4 also, we have a main chain and a branch. So first identify the parent chain. The parent chain should consist more number of carbon atoms. Here you have two chains. In one of the chains there are 4 carbon atoms, and in another chain you have 5 carbon atoms. So we choose the chain which consists of 5 carbon atom as the parent chain. And since the number is 5 and it is an alkane, the root word or the parent's name is pentane. The substitute here or the branch here is an alkyl group which consists of 1 carbon atom, so it is a methyl group. So write the name of that branch in front of the name of the parent chain. Now number the parent chain. So you can number it from either side, and in this case you can see that the carbon atom that has a substitute or a chain receives the same number from both sides. So the number here is 3. Now write that number in front of the name of the substitute. So the name here or the name of the hydrocarbon here is 3-methyl-pentane. In the next question, you have 2 substitutes or 2 branches. So select the parent chain. Here you have 2 chains. In the first chain you have 3 carbon atoms. In the second chain you have 4 carbon atoms. In another chain also you have 4 carbon atoms. For our convenience, let's take the straight chain as the parent chain, which consists of 4 carbon atoms, which is an alkane. So the name of that parent is butane. Because there are 4 carbon atoms, the name should start with but, and it's an alkane, it should end with ane. Now let's name the branches. There are 2 branches, and you can see that both the substitutes are of the same alkyl group, methyl group. Since there are 2 methyl group, we have to indicate that by using the letters di. So in front of the name of butane, we have to write dimethyl, which means there are 2 methyl groups in the branch. What is the next step? Yes, we have to number the parent chain. So from either side number the parent chain. Here you can see that both the branches get either the number 2 or 3. Since there are 2 methyl groups, we have to write both the numbers in front of the name. So it will be 2,3-dimethyl-butane. In the next question also, we have 3 substitutes coming along with the straight chain. So again, identify the longest chain. You can see that the longest chain is a straight chain which consists of 5 carbon atoms. If there are 5 carbon atoms and it is an alkene, then the name of the parent is pentane. Now there are 3 methyl groups here. CH3 is a methyl group and there are 3 methyl groups. So when in the previous question when we had 2 methyl groups, we indicated it by using the letters dimethyl. Since here we have 3 methyl groups, what should we do? We have to indicate it by writing it as trimethyl. That means there are 3 methyl groups. Again, what is the next step? Number the carbon chain. So while numbering the carbon chain, we can see that for the second carbon you have 2 substitutes, and for the 4th carbon you have 1 substitute. So we will select in such a way that maximum number of branches get the minimum number, that is the lowest number. So the name here becomes 2,2,4-trimethyl-pentane. Here comes the 7th question. So as usual, let's start. The first step is identifying the longest chain. Here you have 2 chains. In this chain that I have marked, there are 7 carbon atoms. Also in the straight chain there are 7 carbon atoms. So for our convenience, let's select the straight chain itself. So if there are 7 carbon atoms, then the root word is hept and it's an alkane, so it becomes heptane. The parent's name here is heptane. Now see the branches. There are again 2 substitutes here. One of the substitute is a methyl group and the second substitute is an ethyl group. So if you have 2 different substitutes, how will you name them? You have to name them according to the alphabetical order. That means in front of the parent's name, first ethyl will come and then methyl will come. So the name will be ethyl methyl heptane. What is the next step? Yes, we have to number the parent chain. Here you have 2 different alkyl groups. So in this case, the lower number is given to the one coming first in the alphabetical listing. That means ethyl group should get the minimum, the least number, and methyl group will get the next number. So when you number the parent chain from both sides, you can see that the least number for ethyl group or the carbon atom which contains ethyl group is 3. And if ethyl group gets the number 3, then the carbon atom consisting the methyl group will get the number 5. So the name here will be 3-ethyl 5-methyl heptane. Students, please subscribe this channel if you feel that these videos are very helpful for you in your revision for board exam. Now let's try and check your understanding. There are 2 more questions given in this video. Try to find the names of these 2 hydrocarbons and post your answers as comments in the comment box. Follow the rules that have been discussed to name a branched hydrocarbon. You can go through the video once again and get thorough with the rules. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, hit the like button and share the video among your friends and family. Do not forget to post your comments, that is the name of the hydrocarbons. Also, you can check the link for the playlist of physics and chemistry chapters of class 10 in the description given below. And yes, once again I request you to subscribe this channel and support my effort if these videos are helpful for your revision.